Sophia was having an affair with Mark, one of the chief's employees. Thunder had been sent to go undercover and take pictures of them together. But Sophia had a strange feeling that someone was watching them. She turned to Mark and said softly, "I think we should leave." Thunder returned to the chief and handed him the evidence, photos of his wife with another man. The chief was shocked to see that his own employee was the one his wife was cheating with. He laughed quietly, already knowing what he was capable of doing. That evening, the chief went home as usual. Sophia welcomed him with joy, hugging him as she always did, showering him with love. But then he showed her the pictures. Sophia froze in shock. The evidence was too clear to deny. She fell to her knees, begging for forgiveness, promising never to do it again. The chief looked at her and smiled calmly. "I forgive you," he said. Sophia sighed in relief and started walking back to the kitchen, but that's when he pulled out his gun. Without a word, he shot her. She dropped instantly, dead on the floor. He then called Thunder. "Dispose of the body," he ordered, "and come see me afterward." Meanwhile, Mark was returning from work. His car had broken down, so he bent down to check the problem. He waved at his son, who was playing on the balcony. Just then, the chief and Thunder arrived. The chief walked toward Mark and greeted him warmly. They spoke for a while, and the chief even told him he would raise his salary. Mark was grateful. As Mark turned back to check his car, the chief called Thunder. Thunder came closer and hit Mark hard from behind, killing him instantly, punishment for sleeping with the chief's wife. Thunder looked around and saw that Mark's wife and son had witnessed everything. They were the only witnesses. Thunder rushed toward the house. Mark's wife grabbed her son and hid him, locking the door. Thunder forced the door open. She tried to fight back, but he blocked her and struck her. He beat her several times until the chief entered. The chief said coldly, "Finish her off." Thunder kicked her hard and then snapped her neck, killing her instantly. They remembered the boy but couldn't find him. The child had already escaped into the night. The little boy ran for hours in the dark with nowhere to go. He was tired and scared, but he kept running. Meanwhile, Kenny was at the club, drinking, singing, and dancing. As he went to the counter to get a drink, two thugs entered and started harassing a customer, demanding his money. Kenny stepped in. He fought the men with slaps, kicks, and punches until they ran out of the club. The grateful customer thanked him and offered to buy him drinks. Kenny drank too much that night and couldn't drive home, so he decided to walk. On his way, he saw a small boy sleeping by the roadside. Kenny shouted to the neighbors, asking if the child belonged to anyone. Nobody answered. He raised his voice, saying, "If I count to 4 and nobody shows up, I'll take the boy. 1, 2, 3, 3.5, 4, he counted. Then he picked up the boy and carried him home. The next morning, Kenny was playing with the boy. He named him Junior. Later, the police found Mark's body in a pit. They knew it was murder and started an investigation to find the killers. One day, Kenny took Junior shopping. On their way back, Junior suddenly pointed at someone. It was Thunder. Kenny didn't understand what the boy was trying to say. Thunder, realizing the boy had seen him, crossed the road quickly and disappeared. Kenny thought nothing of it and took Junior home. That night, Kenny was singing at the club as usual when Thunder and the chief showed up. Junior saw them, ran to Kenny, and hugged him tightly, refusing to let go. The chief whispered to Thunder that they couldn't take the boy in front of everyone. They would have to wait for the right moment. Later, Kenny bought a toy piano for Junior and called him to play. "Junior! Junior!" he shouted, but the boy didn't answer. That's when Kenny realized Junior was deaf. One afternoon, Kenny went shopping and left Junior in the car. When he came back, the boy was gone. He panicked and called out his name, searching everywhere. He was about to give up when he found Junior in a store with a kind woman named Winnie. Kenny was relieved and took the boy home. The next day, while they were playing, Kenny heard a knock on the door. A man introduced himself as Mr. Odo. He said he was looking for his son and had heard about a boy found by the roadside. He explained that he had left the boy at home and returned to find him missing. Kenny was heartbroken. Just when he had found happiness, it seemed it was being taken away again. But Mr. Odo made a mistake. As he spoke, he said, "Junior always calls me sweet, sweet daddy." Kenny froze. Junior couldn't even speak. He immediately knew the man was lying. Kenny attacked him, demanding the truth. Mr. Odo finally confessed he had no child. He only came to take the boy for himself. Kenny beat him and threw him out of the house for lying. That night, while Kenny slept, Junior saw his mother outside and followed her. Kenny woke up to find the boy missing. He rushed outside and found Junior pointing at something, but when Kenny looked, there was nothing there. Gently, he told him, "There's no one, Junior," and took him back inside. Days later, Kenny took Junior to buy clothes. While helping him try them on, Junior didn't respond when Kenny joked with him. When Kenny looked again, the boy was gone. He searched everywhere until he found him with Winnie again. Kenny realized Junior liked Winnie, and Winnie invited them to her house. At her home, Winnie went to prepare something for them while Kenny sat reading a newspaper. Junior wandered around and entered a room. On the wall was a framed picture of Winnie with her father and another woman. Curious, he tried to touch it, but it fell and broke. Winnie and Kenny ran in. Junior was staring at the photo. It was of his mother. Kenny scolded him gently for touching other people's things, but Winnie stopped him. She explained that the photo was of her, her sister, and their father. She said she hadn't seen her sister in 10 years. She ran away with her fiancé when their father refused to let them marry. Winnie hadn't heard from her since. Later, Winnie asked for Kenny's number. She was starting to fall for him. Like in an Indian movie, Winnie found herself daydreaming about her and Kenny singing together. She woke up from her dream and called him immediately to ask how Junior was doing. Kenny said they were fine and having fun. Later that night, Kenny was drinking again. He started talking about his past. He said he wasn't always like this, that his parents died when he was 11, leaving him rich because they were wealthy. He lived with his uncle, who later died too. Kenny said he got married, but his wife and son both died during childbirth. He had named the baby Junior. That's why he gave this boy the same name. Winnie came to his house but didn't go inside. She stood by the door listening, tears rolling down her cheeks. The story broke her heart. She returned home crying. Kenny said that from that day, alcohol became his only friend. That night, Kenny drank until he passed out. Junior noticed someone at the window, then saw the door handle move. Terrified, he tried to wake Kenny, but Kenny wouldn't move. Junior grabbed the clock and set the alarm. It rang loudly, but Kenny still didn't wake up. Suddenly, the door opened. It was thunder. He grabbed Junior. End of part 1. Subscribe for part 2.